For this not quite last show of the section, we're looking at a musher and his dog team that travel 23.5 kilometers per hour during a dog sled race. How long would it take them to travel 50 kilometers? Round your answer to the nearest tenth of an hour. This is a good example of grade 10 physics. So, we've got a formula. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. So, let's have a look. We've got 23.5 kilometers per hour. That is a speed. So I'm going to say 23.5, and I'm going to write units in. I think when you're doing this sort of thing, you should always have your units in. It'll be good practice for you for high school as well. How long would it take them to travel 50 kilometers? Well, 50 kilometers is a distance. So I'm going to say that is equal to 50 kilometers instead of d, and then divided by time. So we need to try and get this t all by itself and isolate it, but it's in the bottom right now on the right hand side. So we're going to multiply both sides by t. So I'm going to multiply by t and multiply by t. Then these two t's cancel out, or divide out is a better way to refer to it, leaving us with t times 23.5 kilometers per hour is equal to 50 kilometers. So now in order to get t by itself, we're going to have to divide both sides by 23.5 kilometers per hour to isolate it. So we will divide the left by 23.5 kilometers per hour. And we're going to do the same on the right hand side, 23.5 kilometers per hour. So once again, that means that this 23.5 and this 23.5 divide each other out, leaving you with t on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side, where did my calculator go? We have 50 divided by 23.5. So we're ending up with 2.1. And now we don't know what this is for units. We have to look at the equation here. We've got kilometers divided by kilometers per hour. So the 2 kilometers are going to divide each other out. And we're talking about time, so it's going to mean that we're left with hours. So it's going to be 2.1 hours. Now, of course, that's our solution, but we need to check it. So we go back to our original formula. Speed, which was, we're going to say speed is equal to, we're going to deal with 50 kilometers divided by 2.1 hours. So now, 50 divided by 2.1 gives you 23.8 kilometers per hour, which is a little high compared to the 23.5. So once again, I'm going to go back to the number that I had in my calculator previously. And one way to do this, here's the number I had in my calculator. If your calculator has a memory function, where'd it go? You can push the M+ button, and that adds it into memory. So then when you clear it, you can go back in here and do 50 divided by, and then RM is memory recall, or recall memory. So that brings up the long version that we'd calculated over here. And then hit equals, and it works out to be 23.5, which was what we had here. So that's one way to check your answer a little more accurately, is using the memory function of your calculator. So 23.8 is close, it's reasonable. So that's your solution, 2.1 hours for the dogs team to make that trip.